Evening or good afternoon. We're going to call the January 16th, 2020 meetings for ECPPS to order. Ms. Parker, can I get a roll call vote? I'm a roll call, not a vote yet.
Chair Cobb.
Here, Ms. Parker, please let the record reflect my remote attendance this evening due to illness. Vice Chair Perez will be leading the meeting tonight, and I'm just here not to miss the discussion. I will abstain from any voting held.
Okay. Dr. Sheila Williams. Gold.
Here.
Valerie Boats. Here. Madam Chair.
Here.
Rodney Walton.
Here.
And Sharon Warden.
Here. Okay, thank you. Can we get the ethics awareness statement, Mr. Olin?
Welcome to the January 16, 2024 meeting of the City Pasco Township Board of Education. It is my duty to remind members of the board that it is your responsibility to avoid all conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest in accordance with Chapter 138A of North Carolina General Statutes. As public servants, it is your duty to monitor, evaluate, and manage your personal, financial, and professional affairs in such a way as to ensure the absence of conflicts or potential conflicts. Does any member know of any conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board today? Let the record reflect no conflicts exist.
Thank you. All right, can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda as printed.
I'll second.
Okay, it has been moved and seconded. Can we get a roll call vote, Ms. Parker?
Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Old.
Yes.
Valerie Boats.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
And Sharon Warden.
Yes.
Great, thank you. So now we will turn the agenda over to the Financial Business and Technology Committee, and that's Chair Sharon Warden.
Okay, and I am going to ask Ms. Andy Tilley to come up and make a presentation for us.
Thank you.
Good evening. Before you tonight, our first agenda item, FBT 01 is the purchasing report. That is for information only. Most of these items were approved via quotes in a previous meeting. Are there any questions? Okay. The next agenda item, FBT 02. Is a technical correction to the playground bids that were approved in November. When we started to do the purchase orders, we realized that sales tax had been left off of the bid. In looking at the bid, it does not change anything in regards to the bid. They're still the lowest bidder, but this the $719,925.96 does include the sales tax. Moving on, any questions on that? I'm sorry. Agenda item FBT 03 is the district cabling quote, and I'm going to turn that over to our Director of Technology, Heather Edmondson, to explain that and answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Tilley. Before you in your quote packet tonight is actually a listing of what it would cost for us currently to install all new Cat 6 cabling across the district. The purpose in this project would basically be to upgrade all of the infrastructure, which is the backbone of our network. Our network provides internet, it provides Wi-Fi, it provides cabling for telephone systems, fire alarm systems. Any of our new Wi-Fi based systems would attach to our internet and our network. The cabling project would allow us to go ahead and build out a network that could handle all of the incoming upgrades that would be required to all of the systems mentioned previously. It would basically cover all of our schools, both high schools, both middle schools, and all elementaries, as well as the central office.
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
So was this put out on bid or is this just one estimate?
It was put out on bid. It was put out by the previous tech director last year. This was the winning bid as we only had one, but we have confirmed the process with NCDPI as far as how we evaluated that using a rubric to come up with our final vendor.
Yeah. The other question is this a pretty inclusive? I mean, I have some familiarity with it, but not a lot. I mean, this not, they're not gonna pop up when they start this and say, oh, by the way, we need 500 more thousand.
It should not be. We've been in.
I know you can't guarantee that.
Right. We've been in a lot of discussions with our vendor, and they are, number one, they are definitely committed to making sure that we have what we need. This would provide us to have multiple drops or multiple cable runs in each location so that we could actually extend those if we need to, but at this point, we don't see the purpose in pursuing that. They have committed to keeping the cost as low as possible to match what the bid is, since we've already entered into that conversation with them. They are definitely trying to help us cost effectively, but also to future-proof any of our projects with this. So I don't see the situation arising where they will come back and do that.
Is this just Wi-Fi and internet, or does it include the cameras too?
So the cameras actually run off of this
Okay.
material. So basically, this would ensure that we can add more cameras, that we can add faster service. When we go to actually upgrade our internet, right now we have different bandwidth at different locations. If we need to upgrade that, this cabling would be the backbone that would allow us to do that. We could add new phone systems, we could add, fire alarms, more cameras, more door access. Building out our infrastructure will allow us to continue to do that, and it will make everybody ready to do that. So we don't have to wait on somebody to come back in and upgrade at the time that we need it.
Really needed. Thank
When
you.
does this process begin?
As soon as we have approval, if we obtain approval, we will start the process the next day, mainly because we are working on a tight deadline. So they are ready and prepared. They're just waiting to put us in the queue to get people out here. And basically, our approach would be to start at one location and finish out that location, and then we would move to the next location. And they have agreed to work after school.
Do you have an idea of which one they're gonna begin with, which location?
I think we're gonna talk to the principals first, just to kind of see which school has a schedule that would allow for this, and
Okay.
we would not impede their instruction in any way, shape, or form. So I think we're gonna check with them and get their input on that, and then we can provide that information.
Okay, thank
Is
you.
this being paid for with grant money or? Thank you. That's what I don't even know. Thank you. Good old Western.
We're gonna miss them.
Did you say when this project is expected to be completed?
We are,
You mentioned.
we are shooting for the beginning of August. The absolute drop dead date would be September, unless Miss Tilly tells me something different. But we are pushing them to move quickly.
I just want to say that, you said you only got one bid for this project?
Yes, ma'am, only one vendor actually
So only
replied.
one vendor was even interested in doing this work?
Yes, ma'am.
That's interesting.
It was promoted, not, I don't want to say promoted, it was
Advertised?
shared and advertised
Uh-huh.
with the same process that we use for federal funding for E-rate, which allows us to get a discount on internet services and specific equipment. We put it out to the exact same audience. We received only one bid.
Wow. Is that, I mean, I know you're in this world. Isn't that kind of strange in today's world that there's only one company bid on this?
It was surprising. Then again, it's kind of unique that we're doing all of our schools at one time.
Oh.
So based on
The size
employment
of the company and stuff.
and their ability to get other vendors to help
Right.
our contractors.
Okay. That's good to me.
And this was something that had been a project that had been in consideration for quite some time, because in a lot of our schools, take the intercom system, for example, in a lot of our schools, the intercom system doesn't run through the network. It runs through analog wired cable that goes directly to speakers. So we're gonna have to, and our phone systems operate that way in most buildings. In this building right now, for example, all of our phones are on a landline. They don't go through the internet. Most office complexes, it's all through the internet. So as we begin to move our intercom systems and our phone systems to the network, we have to have the Cat 6 cabling, or our current infrastructure, the Cat 5, would really struggle and potentially may not be able to handle that bandwidth and just everything through it. So ESSER is at really providing us the opportunity to do, nobody will even ever see this. This would be in the tiles. Nobody even know it happened, but it'll actually allow us to be able to transition more things to the internet of cloud, to be able to do days ahead. And that's why right now, when you call our front office phones, a lot of times you might get a busy signal, or we can't have a list of options, or it's hard to get routed to the teacher. But once we modernize those phone systems and put them over the cloud, we can do a lot of different things, and this sort of cues us up to be able to do that. So it's a great opportunity.
So CenturyLink's getting ready to lose a customer that, when all this is done.
Well, we were using them for internet, I believe, as well.
Yeah.
Right.
If I understood.
Yeah, it'll be,
At
it'll
least
still
some
be a
of the
package.
Any other questions for Ms. Edmondson? Thank you very much.
Absolutely, thank you.
Moving to the next agenda item, FBT 04. These are the fundraising requests, from the schools, and as you see, one for Hewitt Central Office. And we are gonna request action on this tonight. The next agenda, are there any questions on that? The next agenda item are our budget amendments. FBT 05, budget amendment number 105 is increasing state funding by $520,273. On page 2 are the supporting narrative for that change. See, we got a lot of got some new budgets and then just realigning based on new allotments, or increased allotments, I should say. Budget amendment 203 is for our local current expense. There is no change to the total budget. It's just realigning some expenditures. Again, the description is on page 2. And finally, budget amendment 305 is for federal grants. We're increasing by $290,731.46. Again, page 2 has the detail. Are there any questions?
That's one question. PRC 17 for CTE.
Yeah.
Do you know that, is that for salaries, or do you know?
No, typically that's for new and expanding programs for career technical education, no
You
salaries.
don't know what is being spent on that,
Um,
off the top of your head. I know you got a lot on your plate.
no, but we,
Just curious.
it's supplies and materials or something, it's for programs. I don't know that additional amount, what that is where they've now given us our true allotment. We're at that point in the year, halfway through the year.
Right.
We're getting our final allotments, and so it was just an increase there,
Okay.
but no salaries.
Well, I didn't look big enough to be salaries, really, but didn't know if it was for one person or something.
No, like I said, that money is specific to, you cannot use that on programs that you've, had in the past. You have to expand your existing programs or present something new to use. That's what that funding is for.
Thank you.
Okay, and as Ms. Sealy pointed out, we have 2 items for action tonight. I'd like to make a motion to approve FBT-03, that's for the district cabling quote, and FBT-04, which is for the fundraisers. If there's no discussion for that, I need a second.
I'll second.
And a roll call vote.
Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Old.
Yes.
Valerie Bose.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
And Sharon Newman.
Yes. Okay, and we also have items for the consent agenda. Those are FBT-05, the budget amendments 105, 203, and 305, and I'd like to make a motion to place those on the consent agenda for the regular board meeting. And I need a second for that.
Second.
And a roll call vote.
Dr. Sheila Williams.
Yes.
Tommy Old.
Yes.
Valerie Bose.
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
And Sharon Newman.
Yes,
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
thank you.
Now we'll ask Dr. Williams if you just want to close session.
I motion for the board to go into closed session as allowed by NC General Statute 143 through 318, 11A6, for the purpose of considering one or more personnel matters that are confidential under NC General Statute 115C through 320, and as allowed by NC General Statute 143 through 318, 11A3, to consult with the board attorney regarding matters protected by the attorney-client privilege and to preserve that privilege.
Second. Call vote, please.
Dr. Sheila Williams,
Yes.
Tommy Old,
Yes.
Valerie Boat,
Yes.
Rodney Walters, and Sharon Wood.
Yes.